with Hype Fresh. I'm here with Josh Morris from Bloomfield College.
Well,
How's it going, big dog?
good. Everything's good. Life is good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I can't
Yes, sir.
complain. It's
Yes, sir.
Friday, brother. You know what I mean? It's a lot to be
Yes,
happy for.
sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's the season going so far? How's the off season? How's everything?
It was a solid off season, and we starting to pick it up a little more in the preseason, but it's going good for right now.
Okay, okay, good. You
So
filling out the
so
team, liking coaching, everything look good?
yeah, I was here last year, so it's cool. We got a couple new guys in, so we just trying to build that chemistry
Attaboy.
and move
Attaboy.
forward. Yes, sir.
Attaboy. Nah, man. So before we even get into the nitty gritty basketball stuff, right? We're gonna pull it back layer by layer, right? People don't probably know at home. Jersey grown, baby, Jersey boy. You're not from up north, not from up north, from down south, but
Yes,
you know,
sir. Yes, sir.
nonetheless, a New Jersey native. For the people at home, where are you specifically from in Jersey?
I'm from, people, you can call it Southern Jersey, Southern New Jersey, but we
Okay,
call it Central. I'm from Trenton, New Jersey.
okay.
That's where I was born and raised. And then I'm really from Jamaica also, but we Trenton, New Jersey.
Rude boy,
Sure.
rude boy, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, hey, look, you're a large man, right? You're a large man. Obviously, you didn't start off like they started, probably like a kid, like all of us. You know what I mean? Around
Mhm.
what age did you begin getting involved in sports, let alone basketball? Just like when did you begin getting active and stuff like that?
Definitely at a young age. I want to say maybe elementary school. I did a little bit of like instructional league basketball, nothing too crazy. And then
Gotcha.
from then on, I picked it up and just I loved the game.
Gotcha. From you playing different sports because you also have a football background that people don't know about.
Yeah, yeah.
You got a bunch of different sports you've played. What specifically, what would you say inspired you to who or what inspired you to specifically pick up a basketball?
I want to say my older cousin. He's a big hoop fan. From like I'm talking like OG Boston Celtics, like Larry Bird, all them. Like
Okay, okay,
that's a lot of pride, and he put the ball in my hands, and like shit, excuse my language, but I ran with it. And that's definitely ran with it from then on, and
okay.
he just taught me a lot with the game, and I loved it.
Love it. So your cousin, if you don't mind me asking, what's your cousin name, just so I can put it on record?
His name is Roland Thompson.
Attaboy, Roland Thompson. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What would you say? What would you say? Because obviously, growing up, you probably had an advantage. You're probably bigger than all the other kids around you and stuff like that. What would you say came the most natural to you when you first started playing? What part of what aspect of basketball came the most natural?
I want to say probably the team aspect. I was a big guy on just sharing the ball,
Yeah,
trying to get all my other guys involved, and then I just had like a natural like soft touch to the game, and it's stick with me to today. Like I like to pass the ball, I like to get my teammates involved. Like I was a big guy, but I was like nimble because I wasn't. I know I didn't automatically get the growth spurt, so I had to
gotcha.
play guard. I had to be a guard. So
Oh, so you had to
them,
learn. You had to learn from
yeah,
facilitated dribble. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
So them guard skills, the being agile, doing certain things, and like people see it today and like how you able to move and do. Like, yeah, man, it came from just having the background of that, and that's like I said with Roland Thompson, my cousin. He taught me just like never box yourself in. He taught me you got to know every aspect, everything of the game, and have every skill of the game.
Yeah.
That's what he instilled in me. Yes, sir.
Do you consider yourself a three-level scorer at this point in your career?
Uh, three level score. I could consider that. Yeah, I can definitely do it from every level.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I could definitely do it from every level. Yeah,
Just curious, man. You know what I mean? Look, it's,
got
it's
you.
it's very rare you catch a big with with a skill set,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
can do all three. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So, speaking, we're gonna skip through the middle school days and stuff like that. I read a lot about that. You had immense success in AAU and stuff like that. You got looked at a lot. In high school, you found success nonetheless. You found success in high school. However, your path still is pretty unique and unorthodox in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's pretty unique and unorthodox. With that being said, to get into play at the level of basketball that you're playing currently, you know, what forced you to go to JUCO route? For people at home and stuff that don't know, because you were stellar. You were stellar in high school. You did your thing, man. What kind of took you to that JUCO route?
Just to touch on a little bit of the high school, it was just I did my thing, but I just wasn't like I wasn't, in my opinion, I wasn't in the right like setting for myself. I had a lot of good guys surrounding me, like talent, like Division One talent.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't the best. And what made me go the JUCO route was just basically what happened in high school. Like I didn't say I got underlooked, but I didn't get sometimes I didn't get the playing time I wanted, or I didn't get certain things I wanted, and I'm like I felt like with my skill set and with my talent level, like maybe I can go do something. Maybe I can, I got another shot at it. If I get the shine and the opportunity, the proper opportunity, maybe I can turn it into something. And that's what made me go JUCO.
Hey, listen, it's a gift and a curse. Look, it's a gift and a curse being on a talented team, and that's the thing. Either you
Yeah,
get on a team where it's like you or one other person, and you get the green light to do whatever,
right,
or you
right.
get a team with a bunch of dogs and you're getting 5, 6 shots a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense. I'm pretty sure ballers at home also experience that. Look at Russ right now. Russ, you know
Exactly.
what I mean? Russ used to doing whatever he want to do. Now he's struggling, trying to find his role. So it makes
Yeah.
sense. If you don't mind, can you speak on the JUCO experience a little? Like, how is that played on you mentally, physically, and emotionally?
And I would say that the JUCO experience, we could start with the mental part. It's not for the weak. Honestly, it's a lot. It's a lot of stress that goes into it. You're not really. It's in a sense, it's your last shot at it, your last chance. This is it. Like you get 2 years or maybe 1 year, and mentally you just gotta be prepared. Like you're going against grown men sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Your coaches is not really fully dialed in with you because they're not getting, depending on where you go, you're not getting the best like salary wise coaches. So they might just be there for 6 to 9, 6 to 8, and then you're leaving
Yep.
classes if you're not prepared for that college lifestyle. So mentally, I would say JUCO, man, it takes a toll on you, but it really helps you grow and understand like what you want to do in life. And then physically, like I said, it was just harping on a grown man. It was a couple times I'm going against other players that got bald heads, full beards, kids,
Yeah,
20, the high
yeah,
26s, 27s, and this they last shot, and they want to do everything it takes to get that offer,
so
to provide for their children. So it's just JUCO. I would say is just not for the weak. If you're gonna go to JUCO, you're gonna learn a lot. But if you're going with the mindset like this is gonna be a cakewalk, now you got a lot of guys that maybe they need to go to JUCO, get their grades right, they get to that D1.
mm,
So they gonna do everything in their power to stop you from doing what you want. Exactly.
mm,
So
mm.
I just would say like my JUCO years there, man. It's tough, but you can definitely learn a lot from it.
I was gonna say, man. Many people don't understand those them type of setbacks, bro. They derail people's lives, let alone their
Yeah,
career, bro. People lose their confidence and they never get it back in life. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. Which is crazy, but just paying attention like Last Chance U. That was obviously a popular show. It
uh,
just some of the stuff's real, man. Like people come from pretty bad situations sometimes school situations, grades. It's a bunch of different lives coming to get one goal. So it's the hungry of the hungry.
no, you're definitely right.
No, man. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you for sharing
No
that with
problem.
me.
No problem. No problem.
With everything you've been through as far because your role, your road to where you are now has been very up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With everything you know now, would you ever recommend anyone to take this route? Or is there any type of advice you would give them to possibly avoid it?
I would say definitely. I think with the JUCO route, it gets sometimes overlooked. Some parents or some kids feel like they too good to go JUCO, and by all means, like it's really beneficial. So what I would say with that is just at the end of the day, if you go in there with like a set goal of like you want to do this, you want to do that, JUCO can become beneficial. I went in there and did my 2 years, graduated, got my degree, and got out of there. But
Mm-hmm.
there's also a lot of kids that sometimes they go in there, they get caught in the light, the college lifestyle, the girls or the partying and all this, and now your 2 years in JUCO might turn into 3 or 4, and you're not really supposed to be there, or you might get lost in the system. And I've done seen too many, former teammates that come in and they just lose track and they get lost. So, but I definitely would recommend it. You go in there with a set goal and game plan, you can get the job done for sure.
Cool, cool, man. No,
Yeah,
like you said, it's not for the weak, but it's glad to know that you're still embracing it, or you kind of embrace that's your journey. It
yeah,
is what it is. So that's pretty dope. You know, most of your career you've been in the tri-state in this area. Like the most you varied out was kind of Philly when you was at
yeah.
Holy Family
Holy
University. But for
family,
the
yeah,
most
yeah.
part, you've been Jersey, up and down Jersey. You've been, Philly. My question to you is, obviously that hunger and stuff like that. If I don't know, University of Dakota, whatever, somewhere in the Midwest, wherever.
Uh,
Would you be open? Would you be open to possibly going across the country or playing anywhere else, or are you kind of comfortable where you are and stuff like that?
I'm kind of comfortable where I'm at. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but just before I even really locked in with the hoops, I did a year at Maryland Eastern Shore, and I just wasn't really too happy with it. And it was just as a regular student. So I'm not. I mean, it would be a great experience because this is the D1. They offer different facilities and different things. But one thing I always harp on is just go where you're wanted, not like where you just. If the school wants you or wherever it's at, just go where you want it at the end of the day and where they need you at. Don't even just try to fall into the trap like I want to be here. I want to. Nah, the school wants you and you want it there. Just go.
They'll treat you with a different level of respect versus you being a new.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll treat you with a
Yeah,
different level of respect.
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, look,
Right.
you harped on a lot of things, and even speaking of your journey, I wasn't even aware that you spent a year in Maryland Eastern Shore
Yeah.
and then jumped over the whole. So that's what I'm saying. I know your journey has been hectic to get to where you are now, right? Which is a blessing.
Right. Right.
I mean, I believe last season at Bloomfield College, right? I was looking at your career stats. I went over, or yeah, I believe last season, when you play, you took over, you attempted 77 3-point field goals, right? I
Right.
was
Right. Right.
checking
Right.
that
Right.
out. And based on your stats, I believe you're shooting at a pretty solid clip for a big, high 30s, I believe high 30%. So not too bad. Um,
Mm,
my question, so it appears to be, at least your game style and how the statistics show, you kind of play like a stretch big, right? Um,
yeah.
you know, my question to you is, do you consider yourself a stretch big? And if not, what is your ideal style of play?
I wouldn't, to answer that question, I wouldn't consider myself a stretch big, but I consider myself just a big that can do a little bit of everything. So really, my strengths and weaknesses come from just like if I got a 6'9" Joker, he might be not as quick or agile as me, and
Okay.
I'll bring him out and give him a little bit of the guard game. But then if you put a 6'7" guy on me and he's or 6'4", 6'5",
Yeah.
and he's maybe 100 and 200 pounds,
You
250,
laying
not
on him.
even 250. Like yeah,
You just
I'm just
laying
gonna
on
bury him. I'm burying, yeah, bury him in the post. So it's about being like I said, just being from growing up and just learning like you got to have a little bit of everything in your game. So by me shooting them 77 threes, and I ain't even like the percentage. I was at 30. I could shoot better.
him. Okay.
So it's just about me just taking them shots, and just keeping the defense honest because they see me, they're like, oh, he probably just a body. He's not, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then when I hit a few, then you got to play, and then I can mix it up and do a little more. But so I don't even consider myself a stretch big. I just consider a big that can do a little bit of everything
Would
and
you,
just know how to really mix it up.
I was about to say, it sounds like you try to be as versatile as possible. And with that
Yeah,
And with that being said, would you say your shooting complements the rest of your game? Like if you can get it going from the three, because I didn't know that. I didn't know you out there isoing and pulling bigs out from the paint.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get it on the
yeah,
block, you'll pull them out, and they
yeah,
don't know what that last 8 seconds on the shot clock work. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
even know he was out there isoing dudes. But
yeah.
with that being said, would you say your 3 point shooting or just even mid range shooting, whatever the case is, does that open up the rest of your bag pretty much?
Yeah, for sure. I really, when anytime I'm in the gym, I really go in there and just work on that mid range game, that in between game, because that makes my life a little easier. Because
Okay.
all that, I'm gonna say banging all that, going down there and dealing with the trees, or it's a physical game. It takes a toll on your body. So if I can find a way just to relieve that stress and that pain, me shooting them pull ups, maybe them it takes a little toll of my body, gives me a little more energy rather than having to go down there and just fight and be physical
Yep.
every time. So yeah, basically.
You have a longer career. Tell you that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Look
Definitely
at
will.
my boy Lamarcus, man. Lamarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
Mid range
Post
killer,
post
3 point
phase,
killer. Yeah.
yeah. All that. Yeah.
Man. But so we mentioned shooting, we mentioned a few parts of your game. Is there any personal goals or seasonal goals, or whatever? Do you have any goals at all for your team, for yourself throughout the season, or just throughout your college career at all?
Um some of the goals I'm gonna say for regarding the team would just be, we just hopefully win our region, have a win our conference, and then hopefully get a NCAA tournament bid. And then personal goals for me would be just to have a better season than I did last year. Last year I really felt like, I couldn't get right. I was coming off of gaining a lot of weight, so losing the weight during the season, I couldn't find a good even
Gotcha.
spot for myself. Yeah, so now I'm I'm better, I'm in better shape, better everything. So now it's really time for me to do what I got to do. So just personal goals, just making an all conference team, potentially being an All American, just doing what I got to do to help my team win at the end of the day. And that's what it is.
Look, a lot of people don't take into account that. Would you say the fluctuation of your body completely changes how you play in the game and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that I definitely agree with that. I didn't realize how much it was until last year when it hit me. Briefly, just to briefly touch on it. COVID was bad, and you're laying around all day, and you're trying to get back and playing these 20-minute games, getting up and down. My body just wasn't conditioned, and my weight just wasn't where it was at, and it was an ongoing battle every day, trying to
Gotcha.
get down and trying to play in these games and not being able to play the amount of minutes I wanted to. So I really, took a step back this off season and just rebuilded my body from getting stronger, getting more better shape, eating right.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we can have a better result this year coming up.
Hey, no doubt, no
Yes, sir.
doubt, man. That's all it is, man. It's improving, bro. It's not an elevator stairs, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, sir. One day at a time.
One day, yeah, literally, it's all you can
Yeah,
do. Just got to you get better, you get worse, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I wanted to ask because I really like this, man. I really like this because you're kind of dissecting your game a little. We talked about, roughly about your numbers and stuff like that. Is there anyone in the and don't take this as any disrespect, you shouldn't. But is there anyone in the WNBA or the NBA that you've ever modeled your game after? With all due respect, people need to put some more respect on the
Back
WNBA.
on the WNBA, for sure, they definitely do.
They
There's
get
a lot
busy.
of killers out
They
there. Yeah, they
get
definitely
busy
get
out there.
busy. They get busy. WNBA, sadly, not really. But I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely watch them. But I
Okay.
want to say, like, I never really. I like to take bits and pieces. So I mean, like, I study Joel Embiid's, post game, or
Yep.
I study DeMarcus Cousins, before they kill his game. So
Yeah,
just little
Boogie.
things like that. Yeah, little things like that. I just like to take bits and pieces from everybody's game and just build from that, and then incorporate into mine and my skill set, and then include my creativity with certain moves or whatever gets done. So that's what I like to do.
Would you say you have a certain big or someone you really like? Like, do you have a favorite big of all time that you really just
Of all time, I want to say. Hakeem Olajuwon, just because of his footwork and some of the moves I take from him too. That's another big I forgot to mention, but I watch a lot of his old highlights, his footwork, the reverse pivot, the this, the that, and it just and then you put that in I put that in my game, just working on certain things like that. His footwork, he killed David Robinson in the finals that one year. Worked the finesse, the ability to incorporate the power. And Hakeem, I can watch game film of him all day and not even get like a little bit like bored of it because it's just
It's
it's
beautiful.
art.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
it's
yeah.
beautiful. It
It's really
is.
just art, yeah.
Akeem
So
is nasty, man. Akeem was one of them.
no, yeah, he was one of them for sure. So, but if that's like my favorite player who I really want to model my game after, it's definitely King because he can bring you out, hit you with the dream shake,
Yeah,
turn around. Yeah, so that's him.
doubt. No, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I want to hone in on this because while your career has been a lot, you've had a lot of setbacks. You've had tons of highs, tons of lows. Whatever the case is, when was your like realization moment of like when did you know at any point in your career? When did you know like, oh, I could do this? Like I'm nice. I can be just as good as them. Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
When did you know you arrived essentially?
I want to say, going into my first year at JUCO, I was really reluctant to do it because I was not too old, but my class was over. I'm like, maybe do I want to do it? But my backing, my friends, people in my corner just told me, go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do it. You can do something with this. And I didn't have much belief in myself about it because of the setbacks I had prior in high school. So I figured, maybe I don't got it. So but I went into that year, my first year, and I was hooping, getting player of the weeks, getting recognized by NJ Hoops,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I'm like, maybe I got something going for myself. Like maybe I can actually do what I thought I couldn't do. And then just coming back to JUCO for my sophomore year, and this is when I really realized, I was one of them guys. I put up a lot of numbers. I tried to lead my team to win, and then when I got that All American bid, and it hasn't been an All American at County College Moore since I think 2015 or 2011, one of the days.
Crazy.
That's when I realized, like, damn, like one of them guys, schools calling. And I never had that. Never had all these schools, having options to where I want to go whenever we do this, and
Mm.
it was just
Fire,
it
man.
was just dream come true. But I wanted to get to another level, but like I said, I could have went to the Division 1 level, but I went. I essentially chose where I was wanted. So that's what the
That's
decision
all
I
that
made.
matter, bro. It don't matter the
Yeah,
level, bro. Just
yeah. I'm in school for free. It is what it is,
yeah, it
and I
is.
get to play ball. Yeah.
Dope, man. Dope, man. We touched on your journey a little bit. I wanna take it to a place of just like what basketball means to you, right? And like what it's
Mm-hmm.
done for your life and stuff like that. What is one of the biggest aspects, of your life that you would say like basketball is either affected for the better or for the worse?
That's a good question. I want to say maybe bonds, friendships and bonds. I want to say basketball has affected for the better. I've done and just connections. There's so much things that I've gained through basketball that I never thought I would, and through this playing the sport and meeting certain people and getting connected, and people recognizing your game and recognizing trying to point you in the right direction. Meet with other people who can
Yeah,
possibly help your game go to that next level. So that's where I'm gonna say basketball just it's a gateway, it opens so many doors. I never realized it, when I was younger, I used to take it for a joke and not put that work in, put that time in. But you put that work, you put that time in, the results is endless. So that's what I'm gonna say. The bonds and avenues basketball has, opened up for me. It's ridiculous.
dope. New experiences that you never, probably would have experienced without it. Always
Yeah,
amazing, man. Open up broad new
sure.
horizons. Um, you know, you specifically. This I think this question is almost catered. You know, like as we know, life is like waves, man. It's literally like this, man. Never and when it's all good, it never stays all good, and when it's
Right, right.
bad, it never stays all bad, right? With that being said, man, are there any sayings or quotes that you tell yourself sometimes to help you persevere through whenever those times do get tough, or you know, whenever you kind of need to get through something, or you need something in your ear to help you persevere? Is there any sayings or quotes that you like to live by and stuff like that?
Saying the quotes. Off the top of my head, I really can't remember the exact verbiage, but definitely when times do get rough, I used to definitely tell myself like just, what's the end goal? Like, what's the end goal? You doing all this? Maybe what are you doing this for? What's the purpose? And then I sometimes find, the motivation just to keep pushing, or just like we spoke up earlier, one day at a time.
Mm.
You know, everything's not gonna go right, and that's one thing. That's one thing. Another thing the game of basketball has really just taught me. Just like, you want to miss a shot here and there, but you just gotta have that next shot mentality, next play mentality. And same thing with life. Like, everything is not gonna go
Mm.
right for you, for sure. And you ain't gonna have a perfect life, but you gotta keep pushing and just hope for the best. At the end of the day.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know, it's kind of a deep question, but I think everyone should kind of always think about what they're leaving behind, right? Like what are you,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, no matter what, Josh Morris is more than a basketball player, right?
So yeah,
More than
yeah.
a journalist, and vice versa. You're always more than what's on the surface, right? With that being said, how would you want your basketball legacy? Like in other words, how would you want to be remembered as a basketball player?
Mm, that's a good question. Um, just just as a person who just a player who just didn't get defined by certain like labels. Like, I'm not a traditional big. I'm not a guard, but I can do traditional big things. I can do guard things. Just a person just that really just a player that's just his creativity is ridiculous. His skill set is ridiculous. That's what I really want to be like, defined and remember as this. I grew that box that they placed on that you get placed in. I don't want to be categorized by certain skill sets. I want to be able to do everything. If the guards is doing this, I want to be able to hop in that and do what the guards doing, and then come back down to the bigs and do what the bigs doing. Why can't that be possible?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what I want to be remembered as.
sound like you want a bag as deep as Kyrie, dog.
Yeah, yeah, nah, not crazy. That bag is crazy, but
That-
but but here and there, I can get a little jiggy, in my little
oh man,
close knit box. Yes, sir.
oh man, jack of all trades. I love it, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It makes you fit. Honestly, the people at home when you guys see this, like it is an asset. Like you're saying, basketball is kind of one of those games where like you don't have to be. It's either two ways. Either you could do everything okay, or you could be
Mm-hmm.
amazing at that one thing,
One fun
whatever it
thing.
is,
Yeah.
right? But kind of when you're like decent or really good at everything, there's always a role for you. So whether you get no shots or nothing, someone still needs a rebounder. You might
Absolutely.
they might need a big facilitator. You might come down and just run the. Yeah, you never know. You never know. They might
Right.
need a guy to play mid. To hit a couple middies a game. So
Mm-hmm.
it adapts your role and stuff like that. So I think if
Definitely.
people learn how to do everything, you'll always be an asset to a team.
Just piggybacking off what you said too, just with learning to do everything. Like, now where the game is being, like, taken, basketball is positionless. This
Crazy.
positionless basketball. There's no set position. Like, for instance, like you said, Jokic is
Uh,
bringing the ball down. He's doing, like, anybody can do that nowadays. Guards like Jalen Brunson is posting up
yep.
little guards. Like,
Yep. Yep.
so basketball is just so positionless, and when I think when the younger kids and the young generation really understand that, and not try to like box they stuff in at a young age and just realize like, yo, maybe I just need to fine tune every little skill
Mm.
because you never know when I need to utilize that skill or in situations or scenarios where I need to do this or do that. So that can really help them. If I would have known that, I knew a little bit when I was younger, but if I really would have like locked in on it and focused on it,
Oh, you
maybe I would have had a different route. But I didn't take it seriously until I got a little older.
yeah, man, that's life, bro. You know how many people
Yeah, yeah,
around, you know what I mean? I mean,
absolutely.
it is what it is. But let's so we talked about kind of the impact and what it's had on you and kind of how you want to be left as. I want to harp on a little bit of, the bigger picture now. Again, like we
Hmm.
spoke about, you're bigger than basketball and stuff like that. The reality is one day the ball's gonna stop. You know what I mean? It's just
Right,
the
right.
reality for anyone who ever plays any sport. It'll stop to some degree, right? With
Yeah.
that being said, have you ever considered any possession, any professions or anything like that outside of basketball ever in your life, or has it not come across your mind
I
for?
mean, it's definitely come across my mind, but I don't know. I think I'm just so like in tune with the game in itself. Like I just want to do something like around the game. Like even if it's just like a skill development guy or even coaching. But definitely, I kind of want to do have my own business and stuff like that. But the game is just, you become so addicted to it when you really break it down and really notice like the game is just so much 90% mental, 10% physical. And I just feel like, I can not teach, but, educate the younger generation on how to do certain things that I didn't know when I was coming up.
No
And
doubt.
maybe I can make them a better player and stuff like that. So anything I do, if it's not within a business, I really do want to stay around the game of basketball and just teach, train, coach, anything like that.
I mean, it's natural, man. Especially when you're spending
Yeah.
fucking half your life around the game. It's just like,
Yeah.
to like stop dribbling a basketball and go in the office for 8 hours. Like it's unreal.
Right, right,
It's
right.
unrealistic.
For
So
sure.
that makes sense, man. So is it safe to say, after your basketball career is ended, is it safe to say, we can see you in possibly a coaching or training or
Yeah,
some
definitely.
type of mentor position kind of deal?
Absolutely, definitely. That's definitely the end goal. If it doesn't work out and I can't play professionally, that's definitely my end goal. Just find somewhere where I can just fit in and just teach the game and help
Dope,
anyone learn the game. Yeah,
dope, dope, man.
for sure.
That's dope. I mean, because you get the effect. I think the bigger picture. You get to affect the next generation, even if it's not the next generation, the people behind you. You get the power to change someone's trajectory, and I think that's it's a lot of it comes with a lot of responsibility, but it is kind of rewarding and fulfilling. You know what I mean?
It definitely is.
Nah, man. Again, first things first, I want to say I appreciate you for coming on, sitting down with me. This is
Problem, no
amazing.
problem.
I understand how busy and stuff you are, but to conclude this interview, is there any advice for do you have for any younger kids, boys or girls, whoever, you have a pretty broad audience, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
with that being said, is there any advice for anyone looking up to you or anyone who's trying to follow in your footsteps? Is there any advice you want to leave with them with?
It's a lot really, but just to summarize and just to shorten it up, I would just say the main thing is just trusting yourself and having faith in yourself. That's probably the biggest thing.
Mm,
I lacked a lot of self confidence. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think maybe this is for me. Don't you can never doubt yourself. You know what you're capable of, and you can do more. So for the younger kids and whoever, just you want to do something, just put your mind to it. Do it. Don't doubt yourself. Don't talk negative to yourself. Just get it done. You at the end of the day, and can't nobody tell you who you are. And that's the same thing when I touched on about labels. I didn't want anybody to tell me I'm a big or I'm I write my own story. I write my own chapter on what I want to do. So that's just my advice. And just once you have that principle and you just work hard, and the results gonna show. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Just trust yourself, know yourself, and just have faith in yourself that you can get it done no matter what.
Mm,
Because it's gonna be people that the doubters, the
yeah.
you can't do this, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that. Those type of people, that's not the type of people you want in your corner, and or you use those type of people as that fuel to do better. So other than that, that's pretty much it from my end.
Hey, listen, man, that's amazing advice. And when they see this and when this gets out, I hope you guys utilize that in your daily life. I just, I'm gonna mention one thing real quick, similar to the message that you're speaking about.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you guys at home ever watched the movie King Richard. I really advise, or if you've seen it, Josh, I really advise people to go watch it. A
Hmm.
lot of the movie is pretty much him protecting his girls. They growing, they're in Compton. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, yeah.
imagine the distractions and stuff going on and the negativity around. And kind of the whole movie, he's like protecting their confidence. And the
Mm,
fact that he's protecting, he gets in fights, he gets jumped, he gets beat up. It's a bunch of things throughout the movie. But whatever he does, he never allows them to even for 1 second doubt themselves. Like he yells at interviewers when they're like, "Do you think you could win it all?" Like when they start making him
yeah,
doubt or quit, he like yells
yeah.
at interviewers and stuff. Because the minute is it's so crucial, man. The minute someone gets to put some doubt or any type of dwindle to your confidence, man, some people never
It's
recover.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. That jumper that used to hit 10 out of 10, now you start hitting
Hmm.
7 out of 10.
Second guessing yourself, not shooting it, not doing what you. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're definitely right. Yeah.
yeah, man, and it really affects you. And then that jump shot you work on all summer that's still not falling. Now you look, it just it affects mentally. Then from the mental, obviously physically, and then
Yeah.
you get yourself in a huge hole. You know what I mean? So it's big. It's big, man. So I'm really proud and really happy that you definitely just spoke about confidence and stuff. It's a big deal,
No problem.
especially for younger athletes. But I appreciate you again. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out again.
Got you. Thank you. Thank
I appreciate you, man. We wish you all the best this season, and thanks again
you.
for sitting down with Hype Fresh, bro. I
All right.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.